I literally just wanted to get on stage one time. And then it snowballed into this whole thing where I got on stage at the first show and I went national. And I would have never thought in a million years I would go national on the first show. We don't produce enough testosterone to get to that point. So obviously there's some help coming in and it's all right. However, I learned after a while that it was extremely unhealthy for me.
What made you say, you know what, I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to tell people what I've experienced?
I don't know if I can say it. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So sexual, and I went through it quite a bit as a child. I can't tell you what that does to a person.
You didn't tell your parents?
No.
What do you think would have happened if you would have told them?
They wouldn't have believed me. I don't think that. As you can see, the trauma's there.
And 9 years old.
And 9 years old.
Let me ask you this.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
I seen your profile pic. People don't understand. Yeah. That's like another level buff. Yeah. That's like another level dedication.
Right.
People don't understand how hard that is.
Yeah.
Like, how do you mentally prepare to train for these competitions?
Oh my gosh. To be honest with you, it's all discipline. It's literally... You can't even think about it. It is what it is. You either do the work or you don't. And for me, the entire time, I just knew if at any point I slacked off, the girl that's going to be standing on stage next to me probably didn't slack off when I did. So that was kind of like where I was at. I mean, when I started it, I wasn't thinking, I'm going to go pro. I literally just wanted to get on stage one time. I told my husband, I'm like, I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to bodybuild. I want to do it one time. And then it snowballed into this whole thing where I got on stage at the first show and I went national. And I would have never thought in a million years I would go national on the first show. My second show, I went pro, which is the quickest way you can get your pro card. I mean, if anybody can compete, that's the fastest way because the first one you have to qualify and then the next show is when you have to get top 2 to win. And I didn't think it was going to get there, but it did.
But to get in that type of shape, do you have to follow a strict regimen where every 2.5 hours you have to have a certain amount of proteins? Even during your sleep, you have to get up to...
Everything is dialed in.
Really?
I mean, we're talking, you have to sleep 8 hours a night. There's really no way around it. If you're not sleeping 8 hours a night, you're not getting the adequate amount of rest to recover and to perform the next day. And then eating, I mean, you're eating every 3 hours out of the day. And it's not necessarily... to increase your metabolism, because a lot of people think you got to eat several meals a day to increase it. It's not that. It's just to get enough protein in your system because you can't fit all that protein in within 3 meals in a day. There's just no way to fit 170, 180 grams of protein in one day. So you're strategically eating every several hours. That you can't miss. And then you got to go and work out and complete the strenuous workout that they give you. And then on top of that, the cardio that they assign. So depending on where you're at in your prep, the cardio can go anywhere from just 30 minutes a day to all of a sudden, an hour and a half a day.
So how many days were you working out? I mean, how many times a day were you working out?
Typically 2. So I would weight train, cardio, and then towards the end of my prep, it was weight train, cardio, and then at the end of the night, cardio again.
Okay.
Yeah.
The mindset to do something like that. I think your husband, he's pretty on point.
Yeah.
This guy looks pretty fit. So I'm like, but that mindset, I always say this. Sometimes it's just easier to just quit, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
But it's like, I'm always interested in that mindset. How do you not quit? Because you're super lean and you're like,
how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Is it yours? You can reach it. You can touch it. Anybody can have it. But it's a matter of how bad you want it. And that's going to drive you. And for me, it was everything. So for me, I was dealing with a lot during that time. I was not okay. My mental health was at its worst right before I started, bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, it was I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of bodybuilders are honestly going through something, and this is the new focus. Bodybuilding gives you an entirely different focus that you can't even imagine. It takes over your whole life. It's a very selfish sport. It's also a very lonely sport. You're by yourself. You're doing this by yourself. Nobody's going to make sure you're in the kitchen cooking your food every day. No one's going to make sure that you're, chowing down on all that chicken every day. No one's going to do that for you except for you. So it's a very, very lonely sport. You're by yourself. And I had no choice but to make it happen because my kids were watching. And when they saw me going through the absolute worst part of my life, with my mental health, I knew, okay, this is it. I was drinking daily. I was not okay. I went to the doctor. The doctor told me I was an alcoholic. And that was probably one of the first realizations that I had in my life. First of all, I was in denial. Then I realized, holy shit, I am an alcoholic. I really am. I'm drinking every day, and I'm drinking to the point where it knocks me out. I fall asleep on the couch. I would hide the beer cans in the restroom under the sink so he wouldn't see it. And I'd wake up and I'd function because I had to for my kids. But I knew mentally I wasn't well. And then I was like, no better time to get into this sport because I would have to stop drinking and I would have to dial in all my attention somewhere else. And so that's what I did. I hired a coach like this. I made the decision, hired a coach, and I was like, okay, I'm going in 100%. I promise you. My first coach bailed on me.
No way.
Bailed on me because I didn't even look close to being fit. Like during that time, I was pretty fluffy. I was drinking all the time.
No, he bailed on you because you look fluffy?
I'm pretty sure, bro. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm not even joking. I didn't even look close to the part. I mean, yeah, like I said, I was drinking every day. I was drinking margaritas all the damn time, doing drugs. I was not okay. I was not all right. I was not in, I didn't look right. And so, he ghosted me after like 6 weeks, and he was very mediocre at coaching me. And so I went online and I looked up on Instagram Miss Olympia. And I told my husband, I said, I'm going to message her and ask her who her coach is. And if she answers, I'm going to hire that coach. That's what I'm going to do. Because I'm all in. I'm here 100%. Like, I know I want this. So she messaged me back, told me who her coach was. I got in contact with their company, hired him. 2 weeks later, I was on his program. And a year later, I became a pro. Just like that.
That's another level of dedication.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. I think addiction is something really serious. But do you think you just substituted
I did
that addiction for another addiction?
I traded it.
Which is a healthy trade-off.
Well, to a certain point.
Anything in excess is bad, right? So, I mean, you could be obsessed with bodybuilding to a point where it's like, okay, chill out. It's not, relax.
It's not your whole life.
It's not your whole life.
I think I've learned that now because it did become my whole life. It became everything and nothing else mattered except for that. Now I'm proud of myself for what I've achieved. Absolutely. My kids got to see it. That's the biggest pride I'll ever have. To me, that it was my biggest accomplishment is my children got to see I went from down here to up here, and I did it all by myself. That was amazing.
It is amazing.
But I do think that the sport can get unhealthy after a while. And I don't mean to knock anybody who's in the bodybuilding world because I think it's a beautiful sport. It takes so much discipline and, just so much mental strength to do that. But when you're at a certain level, especially at the pro level, now you're talking about gear, steroid use. And a lot of us are on it because there's no way. I mean, if you see these women and men, you can't get there. They can't get there.
There's no way. I know right away who's
now. Let's just
I'm
say,
like, oh my God, this guy's on that stuff.
Let's just say you can. Let's just say you can be on the absolute best diet in the world. You can train hard, but you're not going to get that big. A woman does not. We don't produce enough testosterone to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? So obviously there's some help coming in, and it's all right. However, I learned after a while that it was extremely unhealthy for me. My body was not responding well anymore. The last, set of blood work that I'd gotten, I wasn't doing okay. So I just decided, you know what? I think this is it. This is what.
So do you think your body was telling you like, hey, stop?
For sure.
You're destroying us.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're messing with your hormonal function. Everything is out of whack. And
So going back to, I guess it's safe to say you have a addictive personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you replace that with? Because now you went from alcohol
Mm-hmm.
to being a bodybuilder, and that's no longer there.
To now?
Yeah, like what did you replace that
I
with?
think it's my work. I think
Okay.
you can't get me off of it. I love creating content. I love it. That's what I spend my day doing for several hours. Creating and editing. And you see,
You have pretty dope stuff.
I'm a posting machine. I don't know if people love it. Not everybody might love it. But,
Listen, because I think we're about the same age. So the music should be bumping. I know people ain't messing with it like that, but me, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm older, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she be playing some bangers, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
and that's how I started following you.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You know, I'm like, oh, this is pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Because you play the old school stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm like, all
for
right.
sure. Well, I mean,
so
I
keep
feel
on
like-
posting.
I feel like
'cause-
we're all stuck back there.
Yeah, I
I
think
we all
so.
get stuck in like the high school era.
I think we were the
Yeah.
last best era.
Dude, for sure.
I think so. He's 30 something.
So is he.
Yeah, my hair's pretty good.
How old are you?
Huh? 37.
Oh, you guys are around the, you know, I'm about to be 42. Yes,
Yeah.
I look really young.
Exactly.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. What?
Hey, that's so good.
So, yeah, our era was the best. I'm sorry, guys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I definitely think I've replaced it with that because now I'm very big on making sure I'm consistent. And then also the work that I do with my clients because I've been a personal trainer forever. I mean, that's what I've been doing. It's been 18 years, about to be 19 years that I've been a personal trainer.
Wow.
But when I went into bodybuilding, you know, my husband actually had the idea like, you should start sharing everything like on a social page.
Stop being selfish and share with everybody.
Like,
Good.
yeah, like share your
My
all
wife
your
told me that.
experiences.
With my real estate business anyways.
What's crazy is I didn't think anybody, I mean, like, I was like, okay, this is cool. Yeah, this is a whole process. Like, they're going to see me go from nothing to like, I'm going to come up. I had intention. I was ready, you know? And I knew that I was going to take them with me through that. That's why my account is called FollowHerFitness. Because when I
Now it
started,
makes sense. Okay.
yeah, when I
okay.
started, I wasn't even close to being a bodybuilder, but I was like, follow me in my fitness journey to become a pro. Like I was going to get there. And so yeah, that's why I named it Follow Her Fitness. And
That's
so
dope.
then he came up with the idea of like, well, don't just post your workouts and like, you know, how you look. Like start talking about your real life, like what you're going through. Because I was going through all those depressive episodes during that time. And I was like, you know what? Man, I was so scared because I had never talked about it in public. I'd never told anybody. So then I was like, okay, yeah, let me start trying this out. So I started recording myself in moments where I was in like a dark space, you know, because I would have these episodes. And then through the years, you know, I started gaining more and more followers. I'm like, wow, people are really liking what they're seeing. This is crazy.
Because
Like
they can relate.
because they can relate. Yeah. And I would have, you know, never thought that in a million years. And then all of a sudden TikTok came and my kids are the ones who created my TikTok account.
No way.
They're like my managers, okay? My twins.
That's dope.
Yeah. And they're the ones who made us go viral.
No way.
So they would be like, oh, Mom, we should do this video. And then we do the video. And all of a sudden we're like, dang, 10 million hits. What the heck? Like,
just being myself?
just,
okay.
yeah, like just being silly, you know?
You
Just
know?
mess. Yeah, because we always mess around with our kids. Like we just have a great time with them and just do whatever. And I honestly think that's the key to having a good relationship with your children too, is like making sure you're doing stuff that they actually enjoy at the time that they're at, you know? And at that time, TikTok was their thing. So if they wanted to make TikToks, we were all for it. And so we went viral there. And then I just started thinking like, maybe I should post those videos on my Instagram. And I started posting them on Instagram. And then boom, it just skyrocketed. From there, it's been, you know, I'm like, okay, so do people like me for the fitness or do they really just like the funny stuff?
It's a combination of both.
Yeah.
You know, it started with the fitness. Now I
So
just
that's
feel
big-
that
I
it's so
think-
relatable that they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, especially
Yeah.
like the older ones like myself, they're like, oh, that's pretty funny. And then all the music and
you know what? I have, it creates so much joy for me to make people happy. I think that's one of the biggest things. And maybe that's my obsession now, is just making people smile and making people happy and educating them too.
You know what tripped me out that I felt like, oh, wow. You know, because I see you so jolly, so happy, so interactive with your kids, with your family. And then you posted something very vulnerable that it kind of took me off guard. I was like, oh, wow. Like, sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover, or how can I put it? Or just make the assumption that somebody
has it all, or they're okay.
Has it all figured out, or is not going through something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why I reached out right away, because it took me off guard. I was just like, oh, man, that takes a lot of guts.
Yeah.
To go on there and talk about things that happen and, you know, dealing with depression and stuff like that. So to me, I want to commend you on that. Thank because you. As I told you earlier, I think a lot of people suffer in silence.
Absolutely.
And are very private about it because they feel that they will get judged and they don't know how to express themselves, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think something like that is amazing, you know?
Thank you.
And, you know, to touch on that, like, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to be vulnerable and I'm going to tell people what I've experienced? So
when he came up with the idea to show what I'm dealing with, which, by the way, I started dealing with severe depressive episodes. They just randomly started coming out of nowhere in my mid-30s. And I mean, they were horrible. I had to be down for 3-4 days. So, okay, you started experiencing this at 30. So you've never experienced that before? Yes, I have. So okay. I did experience postpartum depression with my twins, which is back in 2004. Even prior to them, though, I've always had anxiety. I've dealt with anxiety issues, panic attacks, that type of thing. But I never knew anything about it. I had no clue what I was going through. I just kind of went through the motions, and it happened, and it went away, and it happened, and it went away. And then all of a sudden in my mid-30s, everything got so dark, and it just, there was this uncontrollable state that I would be in where I would go into the room and I'd sleep all day if I could and come out, and I couldn't function. Do you remember, I'm sorry to bring you up, but I remember at some point we were in the car driving, and I asked my husband, I said, do you ever feel like you're stoned, but you're not? Like, do you ever feel like you're just not here? And he's like, no, I don't ever feel that. And I'm like, that's really weird, because I completely feel like I'm not here right now. Like right now, I swear to God, it feels like I had just smoked a joint or something, like I'm off. He's like, no. And I started experiencing that very often, which is now what I understand to be brain fog. I didn't know that back then. Okay. But with time, I've learned so much about so many different mental health conditions. So that's kind of one of the things I started experiencing first. And then it went into sadness, darkness, a complete debilitation. I was debilitated. I wouldn't function for 3-4 days. And then
you would just be in your room?
That's it. Oh, or I'd be in absolute tears. I mean, and here's the thing. I live a beautiful life. I am very blessed. I have an amazing, incredible husband. I have beautiful children who I have such an amazing relationship with. I don't have problems with people. I love hard, and everybody who I surround myself with loves me hard. So for me to be going through this sadness and deep depression was a shock. I had no clue what was happening. So then came the drinking. Okay. Oh, and now I'm drinking it was a crutch. Now I'm drinking daily.
Because you were self-medicating.
For sure. Yeah. And then if you're coming down all the time, how do you get yourself back up?
Got to keep going.
Well, there's stuff for that. And so I started doing that stuff. So it was a mixture of both on a constant basis until eventually things got so dark that I started wishing I wouldn't wake up. And then I started planning because I thought, I can't go another day of this. The feeling was so intense and so horrible that I genuinely felt there's no way I could possibly survive one more day feeling this. And I remember one night in particular, I was in the restroom drinking, like I mentioned earlier. And I was just in tears, crying in the restroom. And I just remember thinking like, okay, I need to figure out how I'm going to go about this because I don't want to be here anymore. And so that night, I drank myself to oblivion like I normally would have. And then I laid down next to my husband. And I remember laying down next to him and hearing him breathe and thinking to myself, why can't I be normal like him? Why can't I just be okay? Why can't I just lay down and just say, I'm going to sleep and not have this, whatever is in here. I don't know where. I don't even know where to put it, you know? And I remember falling asleep and thinking, I have to do this soon because I can't do this anymore. Then I woke up in the morning and I hear the kids getting ready for school and him getting ready for work. And I remember coming out of the room in a rut. And I told him, I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember this, but I said, I need help. I'm not okay. And he's like, what do we need to do? I said, I don't know, but I'm not okay. Like, I need some help. And he was like, okay, well, let's call a psychiatrist. Let's get it all set up. And, and so, yeah, that's when I went to see the psychiatrist. And that's when I found out, well, it's a process. You don't find out right away what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Because they also have to put you through, it's a process.
Yeah.
But the first thing I found out was obviously that I was an alcoholic. And then it was like, okay, I need to stop. And then from there, it just kind of progressed into therapy. And then with time and going through different medications, because you have to try, and that's the thing, people are afraid to try medication out. So was I. I try to stay away from it. And then eventually I was like, something bigger is going on. So I definitely need help with the chemical imbalance. That's whatever's happening, And so we tried different medications, which was a process in itself. And it wasn't easy. It was incredibly difficult to go through. But eventually we found a medication that worked for me, which therefore also gave me the diagnosis. So I have major depressive disorder, and which means I go into a complete deep depressive episode for several days, and then I'll come out normal for days.
Do you know what triggers it?
There are no triggers.
So it just happens
Yeah. And it could be genetic. It just comes on. And there's literally, I could be beautifully having the best day of my life. I could be at Disney. And then all of a sudden, I could be at Disney yesterday. And then this morning I'll wake up and I don't feel good. Everything, my whole life is flipped around and I am debilitated.
Damn.
And that's we're just talking about one mental health condition. We're not talking about what other people deal with, because there's so many mental health conditions that come with even harder side effects. And I'm not diminishing what I go through, because what I go through is very difficult, but there are people who will deal with many other things on top of that.
And the medication is to deal with the chemical imbalance in your brain, right? But I could see why people don't like to take medicine. But do you feel that it helps you?
Oh my God, it's changed my life. It has changed my life.
Really?
And the thing is, I was extremely apprehensive about taking medication. I didn't want to. I tried everything in the book. I mean, when I tell you I tried everything, I even went to the library one day and I was like, I'm not leaving here until I find a self-help book. I left with a book written by the Dalai Lama. It was all about Buddhism. I read the book within a week, right? I would lock myself in the room every day. I was determined to get myself right. When I tell you every day for hours, I would listen to Tony Robbins. I would listen to Sadhguru. Sadhguru is an incredible yogi who just, and to be honest with you, this was all part of my process of getting better, because had I not listened to them and fed myself this information, I wouldn't understand that the issues I was dealing with in depression were just momentary and that they would pass. I wouldn't have understood that because before that, like I said, I was ready to call it quits. And it was because I thought this was it. This was the end all. I thought this is never going to change. And then through teaching myself all these things and listening and paying attention and reading, meditating. Oh, meditation. I can't tell you how many hours I've meditated in my life.
Do you live in Southern California and are you looking to buy, sell, or refinance one of your properties? What better agent to represent you than the host of True Hustle Podcast? Go ahead, give us a call or send us a text at 323-352-7946. Now let's get back to the episode, baby.
And all of that is part of that process, is learning and training myself. I basically trained myself to become a resilient, powerful, strong chingona and to say, fuck that. I'm going to win. I've won everywhere else. I'm going to win. Wow. And obviously, the things I were doing were making me powerful here, but they weren't changing my state. And that's when I understood, this is deeper. I probably need medication. And I was against it, but, I just remember feeling so deep in the depression that I called my doctor. I'm like, I need it. I need help now. And so that's where we went from there.
So when you were going through therapy, of course, you talked to your therapist about your upbringing. Does he make that connection in between what you went through as a child?
Yes.
Through these depression episodes? So
the way this started was I was diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay. And I was diagnosed that way because they felt that maybe I was dealing with depression because of the things that I had gone through as a child. I don't know if I can say it. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So sexual assault, sexual abuse. And I went through it quite a bit as a child. I experienced it through 4 different men. And I can't tell you what that does to a person mentally and emotionally. And thank you so much.
It's okay. You're safe here.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. But people need to understand that you were a child. And no child should go through stuff like this.
Oh, absolutely.
So you take your time. And like I mentioned earlier, this is a safe place for you. It takes a lot of courage to talk about this.
I know. I want to be open about it.
And
I want to be open about it because other people go through it. A lot of people go through it. And I think it's important for people to understand how easily it can happen to your child. As you can see, the trauma's there. It's not leaving. It's just something that I have learned to deal with, and I've worked through. I really have. I've worked through. But I guess thinking back on like what it's put me through, it's just it's difficult. It's very heavy. So when I first got diagnosed, I was diagnosed with PTSD because I would talk about those traumas. And then eventually, like I tell you, because we tried out several different medications and through my symptoms is when we figured out, okay, this isn't just PTSD. It's actually like a severe mental health condition. So I've never been able to take a full grasp of it and just be like, it's okay. It just happened. Like, it's all right. It's still something that's somewhat heavy on me. And I think that's why I speak on it so heavily. I talk about it so much because I have such a fear when it comes to children and the things that they could experience and the things that they might go through. And I think back on my experiences and, I had no idea what was going on, but I knew it was wrong. And then it's so weird because when you deal with those traumas or with that feeling or situation that you're going through, you're a child. You don't know any better, right? And you understand that that's not right. You know that. But then at the same time, because it keeps happening, you suddenly feel like you're a part of it. And now you feel guilt. You feel you're at fault. That's what I felt. I felt I was in it.
And 9 years old.
And 9 years old.
Let me ask you this. Where were your parents at throughout this?
Sometimes present, but not in the room. And that's a big thing that, you know, I've talked to my husband about a lot too. Like we have these random conversations in the car, just kind of thinking through things. But here's the thing. And I want to make this very, very clear because your children are not 100% safe anywhere. They really are not. You could be at a party and everybody does this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but everybody does this. We go to a family party or a friend party and we're all in the living room and the kitchen. Everyone's hanging out. All the adults drinking, eating. Where are the kids at? In a whole different room. Right?
Correct.
And you're thinking they're all playing and hanging out.
They're hanging out.
But are all these kids the exact same age? Are they all just 6 years old? Are they all just 7 years old? And even if they were, you don't know what another child has experienced or seen or done with somebody else.
Oh, that's so true.
Therefore, you have no idea what's going on in that room. You don't. And a lot of children get abused that way by another child. Or they experience some sort of exchange. And I'm telling you that firsthand.
So that's what happened?
For one of my situations. But then again, he was 17. 17 and I was 9. And you know what's funny is I think back on it. And I remember showing up to my tia's house. She's not my tia, but you know, in the right Mexican culture, what do we do? Like, tu tia, tu tío, you know? But they're the friends. But they want you to feel so comfortable that you call them your tias and your tíos, right? So we show up to my tia's house, and every time we would go and we'd be hanging out, one of their sons would show up and be like, ay, mi novia Anahi, mi novia Anahi. And everybody would laugh about it. Ay, sí, un día se van a casar. One day you guys are going to get married. Oh, right? So but this is am I right when I say a lot of families do this crap?
Yes.
Okay? And it's real funny in the moment. But late at night, when the tias and the tíos were over there drinking, and they put us to bed in the room all together because we were kids, I was going through a situation with that same kid. I was going through abuse that nobody knew, just he and I. And I didn't say a word because I didn't think anybody would believe me. I just went through it.
You didn't tell your parents?
No.
What do you think would have happened if you would have told them?
They wouldn't have believed me. I don't think that. I don't think I would have been believed. And I hate to say that. I really hate saying that, but I just don't think that.
And
I don't know how else to.
Let me tell you what I feel is a problem in our community. Everybody wants to not acknowledge that certain things are happening.
For sure.
Okay. Culturally in our communities. And I see this more often that, let's say sexual assault is happening. The young lady goes to her mom and says, Mom, this is happening. What's going to happen? No seas mentirosa.
Yeah.
Knowing damn well that it is happening by either a tío or relative. And instead of confronting it, they kind of condone it.
Yeah.
Tu tío nomás estaba
ya
pedo.
Sabes cómo es. Ya
sabes cómo es.
Yeah.
No. Okay, why would a child make that up?
Do you know that statistics show that 85% of sexual assaults and abuse are carried out by a family member?
That's a wild stat.
85%. And that's an honest, it's a true stat.
And why do you think that
Family member or social circle.
But why do you think that mothers and mothers, I don't think a father would just be like, not acknowledge it. But the mothers are like, no seas mentirosa. Stop it.
I think it's just the way they were raised. I don't fault my mother at all for her reaction to me. But here's the thing: I didn't tell her all the time. I only told her once. I told her one time, but that was enough for me to understand. 9. But that was enough for me to understand that I had no leg to stand on. I had nobody was going to believe me. I didn't have siblings. I didn't have a father. My stepfather was the one that did it. He was the first man that did it. Here's the thing: the man never touched me again. Okay, he apologized to me. I remember the apology. I remember what he said to me. I remember it all.
How old were you?
I was 9.
I keep on asking that because I want them to know.
I was 9. I was a child. I was a baby. But here's the thing. During that time, his best friend lived with us. Okay, I don't know if because this happened and the man was aware of it. All I'm telling you is that for the next year or 2, that man, the best friend, was abusing me regularly. On the regular. There was it just became a thing. And this is why I tell you that children who are in these situations, when they go through them, they don't understand what's happening. And it's scary because you know that it's wrong. But then after a while, it keeps going on. And now the child thinks they're part of it. And I almost felt I was a part of it. Like, that was...
I have a question. And, I mean, I don't know how much into deep you can go in, but, like, when this was happening by the friend, was it like, done playful? Or was it, like, this was happening right now?
It started off... It was weird. It was almost, like, flirtatious. Like, he would flirt with me. Or, like, the way he would... touch me, he would rub his hand, or sometimes like rub his hand on my butt, or
I'm just trying to
oh no, yeah, it can, yeah, and you're a child, so you don't know what's right and wrong.
But the reaction from your mother the first time you told her, what did she tell you? Like, you told her, Mom, my stepdad did this to me.
I mean, it was a process. It wasn't just like I went straight to her. There was a whole debacle. A whole thing happened. Mm-hmm. I ran out of the house. I was in my underwear. I went upstairs to the neighbor. I knocked on her door. I asked her for help. The cops were called. I was sent to my aunt and uncle's house. The cops were there, and then my mom showed up. So my mom showed up into a whole scene, And so I know that wasn't easy for her. I know it wasn't easy for her to see. There wasn't much of a conversation that her and I had, really, that I can remember, honestly. I think it was just kind of a known thing for me, like.
So all that happened, all this commotion, cops get there.
CPS is involved. I get interviewed.
CPS, you get interviewed. Then you go back to the same place. Where this was continued. Right. Well, I mean, where this happened.
Right.
Now, the friend is there, and it's like, well, nothing happened.
Yeah.
And you didn't feel like, okay, I need to say something again?
No. Is this when he apologized?
Right after he apologized, the other man started.
How does a grown man apologize to a 9-year-old? Like,
I remember clearly, and this is just crazy to me now that I think back, but I remember him clearly. I was told to go to my room, and he was sitting on my bed, and I sat next to him, and he just said, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. I thought it was your mom. I love you. I would never hurt you. And I remember him opening his wallet and taking out a picture that I had drawn of him, my mom, and myself. I remember it clearly. And him saying, look what I carry around in my wallet. I would never hurt you. You're my daughter. And that was the apology I got. And then after that, it was just, it was a short matter of time before. I've never said his name out loud, but I'm going to say it. My stepfather's name was Fernando. I've never said that before.
Feels liberating?
Yeah.
Good.
Somebody left a comment on one of my videos not too long ago and said, they always want to talk about the abuse, but they never want to say the name. That's what that person said. And I wondered to myself, why would you care what the name is? You don't know him. But then I thought, I've never said the name, and why not, you know? His name is Fernando.
And where's Fernando at now?
I have no clue. And the best friend's name was Gerardo. Gerardo is the one that really, I'm not going to take away from either one of them because they both did it. But Gerardo was the one I experienced a lot of abuse from. A lot. A lot. It was constant. In the shower, out of the shower, in the bedroom, during nap time, in the night. It was all the time. And my parents were there. My mom was there. But not seeing what was happening because he was behind the scenes. It was, you know, my mom would be in her room watching TV and I'd be washing dishes and this man would come behind me and just do what he did. And no, I mean, ni cuenta, you know, nobody was there to see.
There's a special place in hell for those people.
Absolutely.
I just can't imagine. Like, you think home is safe. You think that's why home is, oh God, like you can't have strangers over. Or you can't have just people just living there because of shit like this.
Yeah. Like this is what I'm saying. I don't fault my mom because I'm pretty sure she never thought in a million years that her own husband's best friend would have been doing something like that the whole time, you know? And I mean, I could have said something. I know I could have. I know it. But it was just at that point, I didn't feel.
How long did that go for?
I mean, it's hard to remember because I was so young, but I want to say it was like a year or 2 years because he lived with us for an extensive amount of time.
And then he moved out and you felt relieved?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah. But to me, it was,
well, of course, right?
Heaven sent that it was gone. He was gone. My mom divorced her husband and everything. So they were both gone. And that was like, okay, you know, it's over.
Let me ask you this. Going through what you went through as a kid, did that, as an adult, when you were 18, 19, and when you started growing up, did that ruin the intimacy with your husband or, you know, like as an adult? Like, what did that do to you mentally in terms of, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I will say I can't walk behind her while she's washing dishes.
He can't ever walk behind me.
That's PTSD.
I can't do that.
Or if I'm in the kitchen. When we were kind of first married, he would come behind me and try to hug me from the back and I would freak out. I wouldn't get crazy or anything, but I would just be like, hey, like, please do not touch me like that. And he's like, I'm just trying to love on you. You know, there were things he had to learn about me that don't sit well with me. You know, the shower. He knows I don't like for him to come into the shower at all. Open the curtain. I don't like that. Because that's one of the things that I went through repeatedly. The man would unlock the door and open the shower curtain, and all of a sudden I was in a situation. So for me, that feeling is horrible. So there are things that, you know, that I deal with because of that. We have a great, loving sexual life, you know, but there are things that I can't go close to.
No, I could just imagine.
Yeah.
Just a trigger.
Yeah. It changes things. It really completely shifts everything that I'm thinking in that moment. And I've tried really hard to work through that. But I mean, it's just, it is what it is, you know. And I think I'm very thankful to him because he's very understanding and he accommodates to those emotions and those feelings. And he's, you know, he's never like, well, that's not fair. I want to hug you. It's not like that. Yeah. It's just like, I get it.
How did that affect your self-esteem? Or did it?
It's horrible. Horrible. I feel like I have always wanted before him, you know, I struggled so much because I just wanted somebody to love me so much and to care for me so much. And I dated so much. I dated a lot. I was a serial dater. Okay. And every time I just, you know, I felt like, could this be the one? Could this be the one? Every single time, you know, but I feel that also comes with a lot of other things, you know, not just the abuse that I experienced with all these different men, but also the fact that I didn't have a father in my life. I never have. You know, the man's just never been in my life, never cared. And I think that has also caused this whole like male figure in my life need, like a need for it, you know? And so when I met him and everything was so beautiful and so, I mean, just perfect. I've for years I lived in fear that it was just too good to be true. Like, there's no way this man loves me that much. Like, does he really care about me like that? Like, does he really? He's doing everything for me and my kids. Like, there's just no way. And it did take me a lot. It took me like what, 6-7 years to figure it out. Because prior to that, I was just always scared.
Well, he looks like a great guy.
He sure is. 15 years later, he's hanging on tight.
And he's buff. Oh my God. I'm just trying to process a lot of things. And it just goes back to me thinking that no child should ever have to go through this.
Absolutely not.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I want people to know that it's okay to talk to people and not deal with this in private. Like, just sometimes it's just good to talk to somebody.
Oh, no.
You know?
Listen, I don't know what it is, but it definitely is very liberating to be able to just let it off, let it go, talk about it, say something. Almost therapeutic in a sense when you speak about it, especially like, I'm very blessed with the amount of people that follow me. I don't even know why I deserve that, but I am very blessed and very happy. And the fact that I get to say these things in public, to me, I mean, I have the biggest stage in the world as far as I'm concerned, because if I get to talk and educate people about, you know, sexual assault, sexual abuse for children, for adults, even, or even mental health, to me, that is the biggest thing that I could do on there. And I meet so many people that just, man, when they come up to me, they're like, oh my God. And they just want to open up and talk. And I love it. I'm like, oh, you know, they feel like they know me, you know? And I think that's the most beautiful thing ever is like, wow, like I don't even know you. I've never seen you in my life. But right now we connected heart to heart and let's have this conversation, you know? And it's the most beautiful gift that I can give myself and everybody else after going through everything that I've gone through.
Hell yeah. Amen to that.
Yeah.
I'm a father. I have a 10-year-old daughter and I have my boys. So this is very important to me, right? Do you think you were displaying red flags when this was happening? And the reason why I ask is a lot of our followers have kids. Like, is there anything that somebody could be like, so-and-so, she's acting this way or displaying these emotions or acting a certain way that could be a red flag for somebody that might be. The only
thing I think that probably was happening that maybe somebody could have caught on to is my reaction to that person when they were next to me. That's probably the only thing, because if most children don't say anything, that's the thing. You know, 1 in 8 girls will be sexually abused before the age of 18. 1 in 11 boys are sexually abused before the age of 18. And a lot of them don't say anything. Most of them don't say anything. That's just statistics. We're not talking about realistically what's actually being reported, because not everybody reports it, you know? So if these children are going through that and they're not saying anything, you got to pay attention to how they act around people. Because if you're like, oh, look, your Theo, you haven't seen him in a long time and you get this, you need to pay attention to that. That's uncomfortability. That's something's going on. If your child's not comfortable hugging, listen, I don't make my kids hug anybody. That, and I know that in the Mexican culture, go hug your tío, go hug your tía. No seas así, ándale, go hug them. You know what I mean? Like, I remember going through that. You got to hug everybody when you walk in. You got to hug everybody when you're leaving. I've never made my kids hug anybody. Because first of all, you're making them learn that it's okay for somebody to put their arms around you just because somebody else said so. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have the right to say no. That is a child's and an adult or human superpower. Is no. That's your right. So my kids forever since they've been little, listen, we're about to walk into this family function. If you're not comfortable giving anybody hugs, don't give hugs. You can shake their hands. You don't have to hug them. Shaking a hand is nice enough. It shows you have manners. Okay. That's it.
What conversations should I be having with my 10-year-old?
So, listen.
I'm really asking right now. Like, I'm like,
no.
It's just like, kind of like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm asking a lot of questions because I know they want to know. And it's very important to me. I have a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
So it's like, what should I be asking? What should I be
talking about?
Yes.
Not necessarily asking, but
I go on a date with my daughter once a week.
Good.
I'm trying to just keep it, consistent. And I want her to feel that she could tell me anything.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? So,
well, that's where it starts.
But sometimes I feel like, fuck, am I not asking? This parenting stuff, I don't have it figured out.
Nobody does. Yeah.
But I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, damn, like, now I just feel like, fuck, like, what should I be asking?
Mm-hmm.
So give me some advice.
So honestly, the first thing that I think one of the biggest things that we've done with our kids is when they come to you with any information, school, friends, whatever, because if you're building this foundation with your child where you're having an open communication with her and she's comfortable to talk to you about things, because that's where it starts. It starts with comfortability. How comfortable can your baby be with you? Does she feel comfortable enough to talk to you about everything? And I think that also comes with the way you respond to her. Okay. This is called responsibility. I teach this to like all of my clients, to my kids, everybody.
I'm all ears.
The word responsibility, okay? You're responsible for everything that happens to you. And the reason why is you have the ability to respond to every situation. And that therefore gives you the outcome. That's why you're responsible. Responsibility. You have the ability to respond to everything that happens to you or around you the way you wish to. And that gives you the outcome. So when your child comes to you and says, oh my God, today at school, Lilia was talking about me. And so I did this, that, and the, so let's just say she did something back in return. Instead of you saying like, how could you do that? Well, I didn't teach you to do that. You're not a bully. You're not this. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Instead of coming at them, listen and speak to them as if, okay, I understand why you felt you had to do that. But let's go over like why that happened, or what did you feel and how do you think she felt? So if you're like reasoning with your child and being compassionate toward their feelings in any situation they bring to you, what are they going to think? He's listening to me. He's hearing me. He's my friend. I can talk to him about anything. So that's where the foundation starts. And then once they get to a certain age, you can start talking about, hey, tonight we've done this. We all sit in the bedroom where it's comfortable, and we're going to talk about something a little more serious today. Okay, baby? Okay. Yeah, what are we going to talk about? So we're going to talk about boundaries. What's safe and what's not? Well, what does that mean? Okay, well, boundaries is what a person can do and cannot do with you and what you're comfortable with and what you're not. And then that's where we elaborate. So if ever you're uncomfortable with somebody hugging you for too long, or if they put their hand on you and you don't like it, you have the right to say, no, please stop it. So it's just, and then you got to also let them know the reality of it, because the reality of it is it does happen. There might be somebody who wants to abuse you. And this is what abuse is. touching you in the wrong places. You have private areas. Those are private for a reason. They're yours and yours only. Nobody touches that. Those are things you have to tell your kid. Are they uncomfortable conversations? Absolutely. But how else do you teach them to protect themselves?
Dang.
And if somebody ever does that to you, honey, if somebody ever tells you to keep a secret from me, you tell me. There's no secrets between adults and children. Those are things you gotta say to your kid. You have to. And you say it regularly.
Why do you think these conversations aren't being had?
Because of the way we were raised. If we weren't raised to talk, I wasn't raised to have conversations with my mother like that. I had to learn that. And I honestly, the only reason I think that I know how to do this is because I was determined to protect my children. I was determined to protect them. I was like, hell, nothing is going to happen to my kids. I'm going to make damn sure. So I'm going to do everything possible to make sure nothing happens, which means I have to talk to them regularly. It's a regular conversation. My kid and I, we could be driving. We'll have a 20-minute drive down the highway because we're going to gymnastics. And I will have a slight conversation with him. And I'll use, life issues. And just, bring it up that way.
Do your kids know what happened to you?
Mm-hmm.
How was their reaction to that?
I think it was eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it definitely taught them that, hey, because my daughter became vigilant, right?
Really?
Hey, if there was any girl that was vigilant, it was her. She'd walk into a room, just scope everybody out. She won't say hello. She just and the thing is, here's the thing. I respected that. You don't want to say hello to anybody? That's fine. I'm not going to tell you you're being rude. If you're not comfortable, I'm not going to push you to speak to people. So if she stood behind me and just, her thing is watching. And not until she's comfortable, she'll start talking, right? Mm-hmm. But I noticed when she was younger, she would always tell me, don't worry, Mom. I looked out for everybody. I made sure everybody was okay, or she was always on top of it. And I think in a slight sense, I think my experiences may have maybe scared her a little bit. I didn't tell her everything until she was a certain age, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it may have given her a little bit of a fear, but it did make her very vigilant. And I'm thankful now because she's 21.
We're in a world where I'd rather for her to be vigilant than just chilling.
Yeah.
Than
oblivious.
I might watch this episode with my daughter.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be amazing, actually.
Yeah, because as a man, I know that these conversations are so uncomfortable.
They are very uncomfortable.
This is something, you don't have kids, so, but, oh, fuck. And I have to have these conversations,
Well, the thing is, too, is how do you bring it up without crossing a line or making your child feel uncomfortable? I get that. But that's what I'm saying. You have to build a foundation to get there, and what you're doing already, meeting up with her.
Maybe, on our Sunday date, just me and her.
Yeah.
I could bring it up and then we could watch this whole episode together.
Yeah. So there's a set of books that I found on TikTok Shop because I'm addicted to buying stuff on TikTok. I really am. Anyway, it's 4 books in this little bundle, and I think it's $20. It's 19 something. But anyway, if I had these books when my kids were little, I honestly would have bought them. I genuinely
send
would
them to
have.
me.
Okay.
Or you could just say it out loud so people can know.
Okay. Yeah,
But send me the links.
Let me see. I'm sorry if it's taking some time.
Oh, man. Brother.
Were you expecting this? No, huh?
Yes. Yes, but it's deep.
Me and all this, I'm like, what is going on?
It's deep, but I knew that it was going to be intense, but once it starts happening in front of you, and I'm just like, oh, shit, this is deep, Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, I found it. So it is called the Body Safety Bundle. I'm trying to find the picture of it. See if I can Google it.
Oh, man.
Bundle books. Okay. Images. Okay, yeah. So it's called, I'll show it to you. I'll send it to you too.
Okay.
So it's called the Body Safety Box Set. And one of the books is called Where Hands Go. So the book talks about where where anybody's hands can go on your body. There's 3 parts to the Where Hands Go. But each one, The Power of No, Body Safety Rules, and an introduction to safe and unsafe touching. So, and then the ABCs of consent. Now, let me tell you, me and my son have read these books, and my son's 12. And at first, he looked at him and he's like, Mom, like, these are little kid books. And I was like, it's okay. We're going to read them together. Like, okay. And after he read them, I should have recorded him saying this because it would have been good for TikTok Shop. But he was like, Mom, I'm so glad we read those books. Those are really good books. Like they gave me a lot of information. So honestly, I will send them to you, but I'm not kidding. These books really help you open that conversation without being uncomfortable because it just kind of eases you into it. And it's done in a very beautiful way.
This is so important.
For sure.
It's so important.
For sure. And $20, I mean, you're literally, this is your child's safety in life, you know? Man. And I say life because if something were to happen to that child, that trauma is carried on forever. That's not something you forget. It's not I'm 43 years old. I can't forget it. I'm 43 and it still hurts. I'm 43 and I still at times wonder why.
And that's something that's going to stick with you forever, right? Mm-hmm. That's something that you can't it's just going to be there.
It will always be there.
So did you just find ways just to cope with it?
Well, 2 of the people that abused me have passed away. And that has, at first, it was difficult because I felt like I lost. Mm-hmm. Like I felt like, how unfair. Like I've lived my whole life suffering mentally and emotionally because of the things you did. And now you're gone. You lived your whole life. You had a great time. You did what you did and then you had a great time and then you're done. Now it's over. But then again, the 2 others are still alive and what am I going to do? I can't do anything. So I almost have to give myself the closure of just accepting the fact that, like, for whatever reason that was meant to happen to me, but I'm stronger because of it and I'm doing something about it. I'm using it to help other people and to open people's eyes. Because I think that's the biggest thing for me is open your eyes. It could be happening downstairs in the bedroom and you don't know it. You could be in the restroom and your kid could be in the living room with an adult and something's happening.
Oh, fuck that. That's why I don't. My house is like, I hardly have anybody come over. Ain't nobody fucking sleeping over.
Yeah.
Man, none of that shit. Oh, nah, bro.
Yeah. And that's what you feel, right? Like if that were to happen to one of my children, I swear to God, I would go to jail forever. It'd be over.
Yeah.
It would be over.
Yeah, exactly.
There'd be no question, no doubt about it, bro.
It just solidifies the way that me and my wife are with our kids. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I'm going to sleep over. No, you're fucking not.
No, yeah. No, you're not.
You ain't sleeping nowhere. Mm-hmm. You have your own bed and you're going to sleep here.
Mm-hmm. But everybody's staying. It's fine.
I don't.
Yeah.
But so. Hey.
So
you are my baby. Okay? Yeah. And you are not going to stay nowhere. Yeah.
Okay? But we're safe. It's only the mom. It's not. So what I did was, you can't stay the night, but your friends could come and stay the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know where they'd sleep? In the living room, where I could see every single one of them. And they'd have huge sleepovers. When I'm telling you we had sleepovers, we had sleepovers.
I would sleep way better knowing that they're down there and under my supervision than a fucking stranger.
And you got to work a little bit harder because you got a bunch of kids over. But at the same time, your kids are having a blast. They're not missing out. And everybody is safe under your roof because you know they're safe.
You know what left me in shock? well, not in shock. You know what made me I'm thinking right now. I'm like, how many parties have we been to? How many Mexican parties have we been to where you do tell, ve saluda a tu tío, ve abrázalo, ve this and that. Ay, todos en el cuarto, todos váyanse para allá.
Yeah.
Todos pisteando. Boom, hey, fucking dancing and shit.
For hours.
Hours.
Not paying attention to what's
Not
going
paying
on.
attention to what the fuck these kids are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when shit happens.
Yes, exactly.
And it's just, as
And
an adult, thinking logically and thinking to how many parties we have been to,
Yeah.
that shit is just crazy to me.
And how many times do you honestly step away from your friends? You don't, unless you're going to go pee. So are you going to realize when another person steps away for a good while and something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You're just, that whole situation to me, it's just so scary now. Like I don't mean to tell people like, don't go to parties, don't do anything, you know? Like I'm not trying to say that.
No, go to parties, but no one.
Yes.
Hey, aquí, I'm watching.
Keep walking into the bedroom. Go check in.
Have your phone with you. You know, like,
don't just think, free babysitter downstairs
No,
and we're
fuck
over
that.
here in the kitchen partying, you know, like, no, you got to go check on them. Go make sure things are right. Walk in. Like I walk in on my kids, like just randomly, like what's going on, you know?
So going back to what you said about, you know, you suffer from depression and you said panic attacks. When do you know that it's a panic attack?
Oh my God. Those are the worst. They're the absolute worst. For me personally, because everybody goes through different symptoms, right? But I know when I'm going to get a panic attack because I start feeling this in my hands. My hands start kind of clenching, like getting hard.
Uh-huh.
And then my chest, I feel like a very odd tightness. And then all of a sudden I'm like, all the noises become extremely loud. Everything becomes like intensified. Like we've been in a restaurant before and I'm hearing the clinking from the spoons and the knives. And I'm like, and then I always know when it's about to hit into a panic attack because there's no getting out of that moment. It just, you can't. It is there and it's not leaving. And so the last time I had a really bad panic attack, we were at Costco, me and my son. And I was driving the cart and the noises started getting loud. And then I felt my hands getting really tight. And I was like, oh my God, no, not here. Like, so I was trying to get through the shopping and hurry up. And then all of a sudden, I told my son, just hold on, baby, hold on, just stop right here. And he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, okay, honey, I'm having a little bit of anxiety. I know you don't understand this right now. I said, but I just need to just stand here and give me a couple of minutes. And he's like, okay. So I just literally closed my eyes and I was trying to let it happen, but it's so weird because you go through this like, okay, here's the panic attack. Here's the escalation to it, right? And I'm thinking, if I stop right now, it'll de-escalate, but I'm already here. This baby's coming. So at that point, I'm like, okay, I'm not coming down. So I told Liam, I said, let's go. You know, Costco has like random couches. I said, let's go sit down on the couch. Sat down on the couch and boom, just full on, like hyperventilating, crying. I was crying and crying so hard. And I was trying to hide it from people walking by because people are walking by. And he's just holding me, like he has his hand on me. He's like, it's okay, Mom. It's okay, you know. And I know it's going to pass. But in that moment, you genuinely feel like you're going to die. Like my heart's going to pump out of my chest. I'm going to die right now. But because again, I've learned this is just a moment. It's going to pass. I'm able to like work myself mentally through it, you know. A lot of people don't understand what anxiety is. Anxiety has very different forms. Not everybody is like, oh, I haven't, you know, a lot of people use it loosely. Like, oh my God, I have so much anxiety.
They use it too loosely.
You don't want anxiety.
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You have no idea. Like, listen, if you have anxiety, it is very difficult to live with. Extremely. He and I, because I deal with daily anxiety and it's just man, it's been.
Does the anxiety transition to a panic attack? Or those are two different things?
I would say it's two different things. Yeah, no, because the panic attacks just come randomly out of nowhere. I'm telling you, I was grocery shopping. Why did I have a panic attack? I was fine. I was looking at Halloween decor.
So no triggers, no nothing.
Not
You're
for
hanging
me.
out.
Not for me. I'm not, because again, mental health is it's very broad. It's very open.
Yeah.
There's so much that people go through that is very different. So my symptoms could be 1,000% different from somebody else. That's just what I personally go through. It's what I've experienced. But I mean, so many people, DM me, and I've talked to so many, and they, share their experiences with me. And
don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Now let's get back to the episode.
It's wild to me how different it is for everybody and how misunderstood it is. And on top of that, the stigma behind it. Like, you don't believe. Listen, somebody messaged me the other day and said, if you're working, you wouldn't have time to be depressed or anxious. Like, what do you know? How do you know that? There's people who have to show up to work severely depressed.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who have to wake up, put on a suit, and function because they have a whole family depending on them. I'm talking about a man and a woman. You know what I'm saying? Who are you to say that that person is not struggling or dealing with intense emotions just because it's not displayed the way you think it should be displayed? The bad thing is there's such a stigma behind mental health conditions that it has now become, or it has forever been, this, what's wrong with you? Like, no, shake it off. Come on, you're okay. You're okay. It's because you're thinking negatively. No, it's all in your head, Or God forbid you really say, I have a mental health condition. Oh, she's crazy. He's crazy. You know how many times I've heard that? People are mean. It has
a horrible stigma.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So how do you feel when people say depression is a luxury?
Depression is a luxury. If they only knew what you suffer through. It's the concept of, if you were working or if you were homeless or if you were starving, you wouldn't be depressed. I've heard it a million times. It doesn't, and listen, here's the thing. At the end of the day, does it matter if it's luxury? Because if you're sick, you're debilitated, you can't get out of bed, or if all day you're functioning with heavy emotion and in your head you want to die, does that matter? You matter. Your emotions matter. What you're feeling is everything. And it's a fact. What you're feeling is real. Listen, I maybe used to think the same way too. Depressed? What does that even mean? Who gets depressed? What are you sad about?
Go to the gym.
Yeah. You're driving a Range Rover. What are you depressed about?
Well, that's all Mexicans.
Yeah.
Go tell a Mexican me siento triste. Ponte a trabajar, pendejo.
Yeah.
Ponte, te sientes triste porque eres un huevón, cabrón. Te sientes triste porque no estás ocupado. Ponte a trabajar, cabrón.
Yeah. Because you're not doing anything. Yeah. So
I don't know if you speak Spanish or not, but basically what I just said is, take your lazy ass to the gym or take your lazy ass, get your ass to work. That's the typical Mexican response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, if it was so fake, why are the statistics showing the numbers that it shows? A quarter of a million people in the U.S. last year were dealing with these. And again, I go back to what I said before. These are reported cases. Not everybody comes out and says, I'm depressed. You know how many people just keep it inside? We don't talk about it.
You know who the perfect example is? Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to tell him?
And listen, again, was it a luxury? He had it all.
That's what I'm saying.
There ain't no way. That just, to me.
That just showed us that, okay, you know, guy had everything.
Everything that you would think.
So what's really
but
good?
I mean,
but he was fighting something.
Who's the other person? Demi Lovato. Didn't she go through deep depression as well? And she has everything.
How about the guy that played the Joker?
Yes, him too. Heath Ledger. Yeah, it's just like, it doesn't matter how much you have or what you know what I mean, what you can attain. It doesn't, none of that can change what happens here. I really wish there was there's so many people that I want to shake and be like, are you kidding? You don't understand. It's literally debilitating. He sees what I go through. I literally suffer sometimes. And it's the worst. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. And I don't know why it happened to me. No clue. But it's here, and I know that I'm dealing with it, and I have to continue dealing with it. And I want nothing more than to focus on my happiness when I don't have it. I'm okay. I feel normal right now. I just want to be happy. And then, when it hits me, I don't want to do anything else except for focus on my happiness. Again, that's it. Every single time, whether it's here or it's gone, I can't focus on you or what you're saying or what you're doing or nothing, because I have too much happening in here. Mm-hmm. And it takes away from everything. It takes away your whole life.
What do you have to say to people that are suffering, that are going through the things that you're going through, but are suffering in silence?
You're not alone. There's so many of us like you. That it's it's real. These numbers wouldn't be that high if it wasn't real. You're not by yourself. There are people who can understand you, who can help you, and there is hope for you to get help and to get better. Because that's the biggest thing too, is a lot of people don't think it can get better, but it can. I'm a true testament of that. I was done. I wanted out. I wanted my life to end, and I wasn't afraid of it either, because the pain that I was feeling was so deep and so intense that I was done. I did not want another hour of it. And to think that I'm here now, where I'm at, it's not a blessing. It's the work that I put in, and I didn't give up. I sought out help. I went and got help. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like, you can talk about it to your friends. You can talk about it to anybody if you feel the need to. Some people don't. Mm-hmm. But if you don't seek help and you're going through this for long periods of time, or even short periods of time, you need help, and it's okay to get it.
How about the people that deal with the depression by self-medicating and using alcohol,
I've been there.
Using drugs?
You don't deal with it. It's still there. You're going to wake up and it's there. And this
it magnifies it, right?
Oh, it's a cycle you're going to continue. Because once you're drunk, it goes away. But then the next morning you wake up and hello, we're here again. Shit. It's never going to go away. I've been there. I did it. And I thought I'd be all right. I did it for 3 years? Every day drinking. Every day. And the cocaine came 4 days out of the week. I wouldn't say every day, but if you're going down, you got to come up.
Would you hide everything from your husband? He wouldn't be able to tell, oh, shit.
I did hide a lot of the drinking, because he would go to bed and then I would go to the store and stay up drinking by myself. And since during that period I was a stay-at-home mom, he didn't know.
Do you think alcohol consumption by yourself, that is just the biggest red flag of just being a full-blown, quote-unquote, alcoholic?
Gosh. I just don't see a need to drink by yourself.
I think, I mean, I dealt with.
But I also understand that some people are like, oh, I've had such a rough day. I want a glass of wine. I get that. Listen, but maybe for me,
But getting plastered by yourself, like I'm gonna get shit faced. Like that's like a red flag.
yeah. Oh no,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's like crazy. You know, like
Yeah.
And I think that's when I realized, like, okay, this shit is not normal, dog. Like, you want to
Yeah.
just get fucked up
Like
by
something's
yourself?
going on. Yes.
Yes.
No. Yeah, you don't want to get slammed.
One beer is cool, but like, damn, you're gonna drink a 24-pack by yourself, bro? That's crazy, you know? So
Some people do that.
that's what I'm saying. That's a red flag, and it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
I started drinking at 13.
Here's the thing: a lot of
so.
people don't think that's wrong.
That is absolutely wrong.
A lot of people
So let's
don't.
clarify that
Yeah.
for them. If you are drinking a 24-pack by yourself, cracking jokes, watching TV, watching the game to your damn self,
Or you're slamming them. The music's all loud, and you're just by yourself.
like that is
Yeah.
not cool, man. You know,
Calling
it's okay.
every friend
Like,
on your list.
go get the help. You know, I mean, we're
Yeah.
joking, but like,
Yeah.
go get help because that's a red flag.
Yeah,
That's
it's
when
not
I knew
healthy.
like I had a problem. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, I'm drinking by myself.
So so
This is
now
crazy.
we drink socially. We have a good time. You know, I don't ever feel the need to wake up anymore and like, I got to drink because that's how I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God, it's already 12. I'm going to go get some wine.
You know what the main reason why I don't drink is because I don't like the hangover.
Yeah.
And I associate it with depression.
Well, some people do get depression and anxiety when they're hungover. Anxiety is
Right
a
here.
huge
Right
symptom
here.
of that. Yeah.
And I did not want to feel that way no more.
Yeah.
But then we would drink. It's not cool. Like we drank to get shit faced ever since we were like 13.
Yeah.
So, and being in denial is a problem. Like, we're not fucking alcoholics, dog. We just, want to have fun. No, you got a problem. Like, if you're drinking every day just to get fucked up,
Yeah.
that's a red flag. And that's when I was like, actually, I had a conversation with my buddy yesterday. He's a therapist, and I brought you up.
Okay.
And we were talking, and he's like, "Do you think the things that we went through as teenagers and you think that's normal?" I was like, "Fuck, who's gonna give me a therapy?" So I was like, "Of course not."
Yeah.
He's like, "Dude, these are all like red flags that like who drinks like that? Who does that? Who
Dude, I was
is
in-
promiscuous like that?" Like we were feeling
Yes.
voids, like we were feeling. Because, growing up, like, oh, we got all those girls, right? And it's like, what do you think we were trying to?
Yeah.
There was a lot of, and I'm like, damn, I just stood quiet. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very true, very true. A lot of trauma.
Yeah. We were because I'm from El Paso, so
Okay.
border town of Juarez.
I knew right away because of your zip code. I was like, taxes in the house. I didn't want to say nothing. I was like, but that's San Antonio, right?
That's San Antonio, yeah.
210,
So
yeah.
at 21, I moved to San Antonio,
Okay.
but the first time I stepped into a club, I was 14 years old, and we were clubbing all the damn time. I mean, Juarez was hop skipping away, and
Because you were trying to.
I honestly,
think, is there some, knowing what you have been through, maybe you were looking for something, love, like
Yeah, for
affection.
sure.
And then that's when we become, what's the word I'm looking for? Codependent,
codependent. Yeah.
right?
Oh, my God,
and I
yeah.
think a lot of us suffer
I
from
got married at
codependent.
18. Who does that? Like, I barely even knew the guy, and I freaking got married to him.
Oh my God, you
But
were so young.
Like, what was I thinking?
You were codependent.
You
You
know?
were looking for that.
Yeah. And all it was drinking ourselves to oblivion together. And I think back now, I'm like, that wasn't love at all. That was literally, it was horrible. And it was abusive too. It was ugly,
Yeah.
And those are things you just, it was
But
a
I
form
think-
of me coping.
I think the older we get, when we look back and we reflect, we know why we were doing these things.
Yeah. That's
Like,
why now that
oh,
I'm
man.
40, that's
we
why now
start
that
diagnosing ourselves like, oh, that is this.
I
This
had
is what I
daddy
was going through,
issues.
like fucking my mom didn't hug me, so I wanted to hook up with all the girls. Like,
See, look what I said.
You
I
know,
said
like-
I didn't have a dad around, so what was I doing? I was serial dating.
yeah. So it's like, you look at things and I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
you know? And that's why I think I want to, I strive to be the best dad, but I know it has its challenges, but like, I don't want my kids to go through some of the things that I went through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm
it's
sure you're going to avoid
because
a lot
I
of
think my parents did the best that they could
that. With what they knew.
with what they knew.
Exactly.
So I don't want to,
Yeah.
it ain't their fault that it hurt me.
That's where I'm at with my mom.
Like,
Yeah.
and it's cultural, brother. It's super cultural. Like, gotta be tough. Like, it's like you gotta show your kids that you love them.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with them. Ama, Apa, and they watch every episode.
I don't know.
So-
I don't know what it's like to have a dad like that because I've never experienced that. I think I can't remember who I was talking to. I think maybe my son yesterday, but I was saying that anytime I went to a friend's house or anything, I was always so intimidated by the father because I didn't know what it was like to have a dad. So I always thought like the dads were like mean because I was so used to. Right. I had no clue. So I would get very like tense and like nervous around the dad, And the father figure that I had was my uncle and my grandfather. And my grandfather was intense.
Oh, he was super like
Mexicanote.
super Mexican.
And he was like,
like, no lloro, nunca.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And when I think about him, he was like grumpy old man, you know what I mean? Like he was just like, hello, like kind of just like whatever. I'm like, hey, grandpa, like scared. My uncle, on the other hand, he was strict with me because he cared for me for a while. But I feel like he was definitely the type of father figure that I wanted and yearned and needed in my life. And so I'm appreciative of the time that he did do that for me because it was a light in a very dark tunnel during that time. And he was very, I spent so much time with him. I can't tell you how many football and baseball games I watched with him. He was a football and a baseball coach and he was just absolutely incredible. But now thinking back on who he was and how he was with me, I'm like, that to me is the epitome of a father, but it was also intimidating because he was strict. So then whenever I would come around other father figures, I'd be like scared, like, ugh.
How important do you think a father figure is for a young lady like yourself growing up? Like, do you think it would have made a difference? Maybe things would have worked out a little bit differently if your dad would have been involved?
Obviously, because every person makes an impact in your life, right? Every person changes things, the trajectory of which way your life is going to go. It all depends on who's around you and what you're experiencing. So could have, it would have been different. And I don't know how. But the reality is that he just wasn't a part of my life. And I try not to focus on him too much. He just recently came back into my life after 20 years. He looked for me on Facebook. And
how was that?
It was very interesting because I was very scared to let him in because he's never really been a part of my life ever. He always disappears on me. And so I kind of opened up the door and I decided, you know what, maybe he's just older and
he's
changing and regretting not being in my life, And so I try to kind of let him in, and we had some conversations and over Messenger. And he was like, I want to be a part of your life. I love you, this, that, and the fourth. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. And then we started talking about maybe we should take a trip to Durango and go visit him, and go meet up with our family. And then within 5-6 weeks, he ghosted me again. And then that's when I just, that's when I just realized I don't need him. I've got look where I'm at. I'm happy. I'm alive. I'm healthy. I don't need that man. So,
and the reason why I ask is because I want, all the dads on here that listen is man, you don't understand how important you are to your kids.
Yeah.
Okay?
I cried so much for this man to be a part of my life.
There comes a time where you have to be unselfish and put your kids first. But I think it comes with maturity and age, but mature faster because your kids need you.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah. Well, being a parent is a learning process in itself, right?
Yeah,
like
it's hard.
You
There's
don't know
no
what
guide.
the heck you're doing.
There's no guide. I sometimes think I'm doing great, and then I have someone like you on my podcast, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I need to have better conversations. Did you see how intense I was just listening when I asked you for the advice?
Yeah.
Because this is not just for them. This is for me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I love to learn new things, and I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. The whole time I'm like, all right, so how do I come up with boundaries? How am I going to tell her, like,
Yeah.
you know, I think I'm,
Don't,
you know?
the trick is don't make it awkward.
And I'm not, and I'm trying not to,
Yeah.
but dads, we kind of make shit awkward sometimes, you know?
No, me too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
true. I kind of take over the conversations when we're talking.
Oh,
with
yeah.
you.
So-
So, them off for sure. I'm not saying
yeah, so I'm going to have to talk to my wife.
Yeah.
So we actually brought you up yesterday too when I showed you your video, and she like agreed, and she was like, yeah, because sometimes we go through things and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at her like, all right, I'm going to back up. I'm going to listen.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, we deal with things, you know, as a mother. Like, I'm like, oh shit, like, I gotta listen more. Like, you know, she
Wait until her hormones start changing.
Man, you know, I'm like,
Might get
okay,
real
like,
tense.
and that's important too. You know, that maybe I gotta become a better listener.
Yeah.
I need to listen more and shut up more. You know, like when it comes to my wife, you know, like there's a lot of things that I'm like, it's been a crazy week. I'm learning a lot. So I'm like, I just want to be better in all aspects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course we all do.
And I said this when I spoke, I forgot, one of these events I spoke, and I'm like, I have a fear that I'm going to get old and like, I don't want my kids to not want to hang out with me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be that dad that they're like, man, I'm going to go hang out with my dad.
Yeah.
I think that's my fear, like to get to be old and my kids are like, nah, I ain't trying to hang out with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's why I think I want to make all the changes and be like a great father. So cuando ya esté viejo, you know, my kids want to hang out with me.
Yeah. I think
You know
if you're
what I
just
mean?
like super inclusive with them on everything, you know, like my daughter's 21. Both my son and my daughter are 21. They're twins. But my daughter and her boyfriend planned a cruise to go on a few months back. And then she ended up reaching out to me and was like, do you guys want to come on the cruise with us? And I was like, that's awesome. Yeah, like, heck yeah. Like, she could have just gone with her boyfriend by herself. Now we're traveling all the way back to Texas, to Galveston, so that we can get on a cruise with them in a few weeks. And so I think as long as you're doing what you're doing, which is like spending so much time with them and just keeping it light, you know, not everything they say has to turn into a lecture. I think that was the biggest thing, right?
That's my problem.
It's just
no, that's my problem.
But that's where you lose them. But that's where you lose them, because then you're no longer somebody they enjoy talking to, because then they're like, oh, dad's gonna get mad. You know, it's more like, oh,
I'm improving.
Yeah,
I am improving.
Like, let them talk to you and try not to judge. Obviously, in here you're gonna judge what your child did, but try to talk them through it versus like I said earlier, just don't.
Because I feel that when they say something that I don't approve of, then right away I have to go in there.
But there's ways to do that.
Correct. And I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to be like, all right, just be quiet, bro. Just telling myself, be quiet.
Yeah.
Listen and be strategic on how you're going to try to lecture them, you know, because I don't want to be.
Oh, you know what
like,
you can use? Like, I always use life situations. Like, you know what? I went through that with my girlfriend too. This one time, one of my friends did that to me too. And then I kind of share my experience. That way they feel relatable to you. And they're like, oh, they do understand me. Like, they've been through this. And then you guys can talk through the reaction, like her reaction or whatever your child's reaction is to it. But yeah, just try not to turn it into a lecture. I think that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah. I think that's a man thing, right?
It's a man thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a man thing.
I've learned
Like,
a lot from her.
you know, like we always want to like, no, we have to. See, the thing with me is that I come from a very traditional Mexican family.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, the man is the provider, all of the above. You know, I'm like the But I had to learn how to modify certain things. I can't be, because then I'm going to lose them. You're right. Like, I need to make the adjustments. And I'm okay with that. But I'm still, like, fucking, I don't want to say I'm macho, because, old school Mexicans, they overdo it. And like, they relax, bro. It's, so I need to make those adjustments. So, yeah. Slowly, I think it's all men, though. We all go through, like, no, we want to lecture and do this and do that. But sometimes it's not the right way, brother. Yeah. So, any questions? Anything you want to add? This was great.
Thank you.
I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Because as I told you earlier, it takes. You're very courageous. Like, it takes courage to speak about some of the things that you spoke about, and I know that our listeners are going to take a lot from it, and you are shining light on issues that people are dealing with in private. And that's the most important message for me. Yeah. That you don't have to deal with it by yourself, alone. There's ways to cope with it. There's ways to deal with it. And you're not the only one this happened to.
And there's so many paths to healing. Very different paths for everybody, but there is healing.
Which one do you think was the most healing for you?
Oh, geez. I mean, like I said, it was all kind of a part of one,
Mm-hmm.
Everything came together. Me working on my health helped me so much. Me stepping away from the alcohol and the drugs helped it tremendously, obviously. Me doing this, listening to motivational speakers regularly, that helped me a ton. Me seeing a therapist helped me a ton because I got to speak about a lot of stuff that I was holding in. And then me actually going to a doctor to get medication. So all of it I think came together.
Therapy in our community has a stigma and is frowned upon.
Right.
Do you think seeing a therapist is worth it?
I think it's beautiful because you're hanging on to so much, and most of the time it's negativity that you're hanging on to, right? These negative emotions and negative reactions to negative situations that you went through. And so when you go to a therapist and you speak about this, most times their job is to help change the perspective. So the way you're looking at your life in general, they help you switch that. And then all of a sudden, through more therapy and just talking about it and letting it go and then listening to their response to you, it's like, okay, I'm looking at it like this, but I could also look at it like this.
Perspective, right?
Perspective. Because your whole life depends on your perspective. The way you choose to view everything is your responsibility. So the way you choose to view today's conversation, the way you choose to view what happened to you when you were a child, or, it's all about perspective. And the way you perceive yourself and your life is going to determine the outcome. So if you can learn how to change your perspective on things, especially if you're very prone to seeing things negatively, which a lot of people are,
Especially Mexicans.
A lot of people are.
That's how we are.
If you
we
can
have a negative thought process sometimes.
Well, it's because we watched so many novelas when we were little, and they're so negative.
I'm telling you. It was Marimar, Maria Mercedes.
Marimar.
María la del barrio. Like, Dos mujeres, un camino.
Dos mujeres y un camino. Can you imagine?
That shit just programmed us to always look at shit negatively. Like, why don't you just look at it positive? Like, no. Yeah. What if it doesn't work? Or what if it does?
Yeah. Well, what if it does? It's all perspective. Yeah. So I think that's been the biggest, changing factor in my life. It's just literally I had to change how I was perceiving things, because in the midst of my darkness, I thought, I can't possibly go on another day. And then once I was able to change my train of thought and the way I was looking at things, the things I was looking at changed. And then it was like, I'm actually very blessed. And I may struggle and go through these things, but I'm okay. And I'm a fighter. And I'm worth fighting for. So.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
And continue to fight. Continue fighting. Continue healing yourself. Continue bettering yourself and those around you. And continue speaking and advocating for people that have experienced what you've experienced.
I absolutely will.
Okay?
Till the wheels fall off.
There you go. Okay.
She from Texas, so you know you gotta ask.
What?
Man, I'm a foodie.
What? Are you gonna ask me about Whataburger?
Oh, let me tell you this. Have you had Whataburger, first of all?
I've had Whataburger.
What?
Rapid fire.
It's all hype.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
What?
Yeah, I'm
Water?
not a fan of Whataburger.
Listen. Okay, first of all.
Yes.
Okay, she giving me that. All right.
No.
There's only 2 burger stands in the whole wide world.
Whataburger.
No.
You're not gonna. Please don't tell me In-N-Out.
Don't
tell me In-N-Out. 'Cause I don't-
Whataburger over In-N-Out?
Absolutely.
Oh, hell no.
It's crazy right now.
That's great.
Who are you people?
Okay.
I like In-N-Out.
Ah,
That's just rude.
In-N-Out.
That's just rude.
3 against 1.
Nobody likes some
Okay. Okay, wait.
First of all,
okay.
AMPM has better burgers.
Wait.
First of all,
Let her articulate her point because we've only had I heard there's a secret menu
guys,
that we're not aware of.
when you
I'm
go
not
to
aware of it either.
You know what I'm saying? Because that menu, the one that I had, because we go to Texas a lot.
I'm done. Get me out of here.
So
Guys-
tell me what's so great about Whataburger? Or
First
which one
of
is
all-
your go-to?
Oh, I get a double meat with a single cheese, and then I get the jalapenos.
So you get a Big Mac. Oh! That's how I compared it to. That's
Don't freaking do Whataburger like that.
Hey, but you're a fan of Big Macs, though. So.
I don't like Big Macs. I don't like Big Macs. McDouble.
I have to be okay.
What?
Continue.
Okay. The thing about Whataburger is first off, you gotta eat it fresh. You can't like pick it up and go home.
Okay.
Okay, I will give it that.
Well, it's funny because In-N-Out, you could eat it there, eat it over there,
Okay.
eat it anywhere.
That's fine.
And it's still bomb. Look at
But
these.
here's the thing: they put like, it's so like it gets like soggy when you get home. But if you eat it fresh, ooh, there's nothing like it. And you don't have to do the mustard
We went
version.
to the wrong one, bro.
All of them.
No, that's why you asked for no mustard, add mayo.
Yeah, but they're the burger specialists, so how it comes should be like bomb. You should alter it. Yeah.
Guys.
I don't have to alter it. In-N-Out, I just order it and it's good.
And they only have 3 options.
first
What
of
is
all-
it for?
And the fries at In-N-Out taste like paper. Who the hell eats those fries?
You have to get animal style fries.
Okay, you have to put a bunch of shit on it so it tastes good.
That's what they're known for. You know?
All right, you know what?
No, Whataburger fries are fresh and just
The
amazing.
Whataburger fries are good.
Yes, they are.
They're good.
Their Fanta's good.
The burger is the problem.
Guys, I can't believe you're saying this.
Is Tex-Mex better than Mexican food in
I don't
California?
like Tex-Mex.
What is Tex-Mex? It's just
It's got like a-
Americanized Mexican food.
Pretty much. It's got like a little American like twist to it. So like for instance, the enchiladas over there. Okay. And I'm saying over there because I was born and raised in El Paso. El Paso Mexican food is more like West Coast Mexican food. We have the
Really?
same concepts.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
If you order enchiladas here, where they're gonna come red, right?
Yeah.
The chile de árbol
Yeah.
with the white cheese.
Con cebollita.
Right. Well, okay, boom. Exactly. That's how we have and then you have green enchiladas. In San Antonio, if you order enchiladas, they're gonna come with like a gravy. And like
No way.
dude, it's sick. It's cheddar cheese.
Oh, hell no.
Exactly. I love San Antonio though. I love San Antonio.
You know what? I love Texas.
I'm just not
Like if I was to move somewhere, I think I'm probably either there. I think
Dallas.
Florida's too humid, so it would probably be either Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, like one of those.
Dallas. I would say Dallas. I like San Antonio, but there's not like a whole ton there.
No, it's
That's
just so
okay.
small. I mean, they have the Riverwalk. It's nice.
So you ain't never gonna go there.
But like,
If
who
you
really
live
goes there? Only tourists go.
Literally, you
go
never
there.
go there.
Yeah.
I've lived there 21 years, and I went there like a handful
Twice.
of times.
It's like Disneyland. How many times you got to Disneyland?
Once. You don't want to know, Mike. You want to talk about
Why
trauma?
don't you go to Disney? I go to Disney like
Why
twice a
you
year.
bring it up, bro? I'm gonna tell you real trauma. You know why I don't like Disneyland?
Why?
So when I was 8 and my sister was 9, we had our primera comunión
Okay.
here in HP. Boom, we had our primera comunión. And after that, we're like, we want to go to Disneyland. And my dad was like, okay. And we drive to Disneyland. We pay. We get in there. And me and my sister are so excited to be at Disneyland. And my dad looks around, sees how crowded it is. And he's like, ni madres, vámonos.
Oh, no. That's like heartbreaking.
And me and my sister were like, what? Like, what?
Why?
Let's go.
Oh, my God. I would have cried so
we
much.
went inside and came right back out and cried all the way back home.
Oh, no.
And it took me a while for me to... True story.
That's so
It took me a
sad.
while for me to want to go back to Disneyland. So I did it with my oldest. So I took him when he was like 10. And I
That's
was
a good
like,
age. They remember it.
you know,
at that
but
age, yeah.
I was struggling with it. Like I had that vivid memory in my mind.
How'd you feel when you went in? You were like,
Oh, I felt like I wanted to cry.
oh.
Like I fucking felt like I wanted to punch my dad. That's how, like that's fucked up once you really think about it.
Hell yeah.
And this clip is gonna go viral. So guess what, Disneyland? You better make that shit up to me. And even though it had nothing to do with you, I want some VIP treatment type
Oh,
shit.
my God.
So
That's messed
that's
up.
why I've taken. I was there with my youngest. All right, I'm an adult now. I could process it. Like, it's no big deal now. But the first time was a big deal.
Hey, he's all with the Mickey ears.
Now I'm
Like, he's-
fucking all Mickey'd out. Happiest place on earth. What? You're taking pictures. So, yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, that's why I'm not the biggest Disneyland fan. But now I'm okay with it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
So I shared a
glad.
little bit of my, traumas.
Yeah, I'm so sorry you went through that.
To 10 years, I was like, man, fuck Disneyland. But now I'm okay with it. But
Good. I'm
all
glad.
right. Well, now we're really out. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. And let's keep going, baby. Let's
Alrighty.
go. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss our weekly episodes. Let's go, baby.